Hey, in this video, I'm going to cover how to create a visual effect that looks like you're using tabs within a Power BI report. So to start with, you have to have a report with multiple pages. Here, this is just some report that I have that we're using as a sample. I have the overview page on the bottom, and then I have vendor analytics and manufacturer analytics. And you'll see that the eyeball here in vendor analytics is hidden. Let's also have manufacturing analytics. We're going to do this so that these pages, the vendor analytics and manufacturer analytics, won't show up in the default page navigation of Power BI. They're only going to be accessible with the tabbed browser navigation menu that we're going to build out. Okay, so only this overview page and the time analytics, when we go to publish it up into the service, will appear. Let's go back to the overview page now. Okay, so the idea here is we're going to build a little tabbed menu here across the top. And through this tabbed menu, that's how our users are going to get over to the vendor analytics and manufacturing analytics. These pages, again, won't show up in the default page navigation of Power BI. So to do this, from our report home, we're going to click on Insert, and then we're going to click on Buttons. And all the way down on the bottom, we're going to select Navigator. And then we'll select Page Navigator. Once we do that, up top magically appears our overview page, or our Page Navigator that we just created. From here, we can also control what pages are accessible. I don't want time analytics to be accessible through this Page Navigator. We'll save that for another time. So to do that, we can click on Pages and expand that in our Format menu. And we can expand the Show. So this shows what pages that we want. I'm going to turn Time Analytics off. Notice it's no longer up here in our menu option. Cool. Okay, so that's part of it. We can control the pages that we can actually navigate to. Whatever preferences we set on this page navigator, they're not going to apply to the future page navigators that we set. So if we have, say, a report that has 8, 10, 12 different pages, and maybe we only have 4 main pages with a bunch of subpages from that. Each page navigator that we construct has its own preferences and its own pages that you can hide, you can show. It's completely customizable. So the preferences that we set in this page navigator aren't going to be applicable to the ones that we create in the future. Okay, this is great. So we have our pages set up that we want to navigate to. Awesome. But let's change the look and feel. Again, we're going for like a tabbed browser type of experience for our users. To do that, we're going to go over into our shapes. Let's start with that. So there's a whole bunch of different shapes that we have here. I really like the rounded top on both. Oops, let me try that again. So I'm going to go like this, rounded top on both. Okay, cool. So that looks like the tabs that we're used to, say, in Chrome or in Bing. But then we have this padding here in between the tabs. I'd like for them to be all smushed together rather than have some space in between those. Now let's see if we can figure out, it might be in the style, border, shadow. I can never remember which one we have that in. Let's see, maybe it's in general. Let's see, we can control that. Rotation. Pages. Hang on one second. It's kind of buried in here somewhere. And remember, by default, it's set to 5. I can't find it. So let's expand all categories and see what we got. Here it is. Okay, in the grid layout, way down at the bottom, we're going to change this from 5 pixels all the way to 0. Okay, that's perfect. So now we have no padding in between these different tabs. Awesome. Okay, that looks good. So now we can also control the state of this thing. By default, it puts the one that we're on to dark black in the background. I think I'd like the text to be black and the tab that we're actually on to be white. So to do that, here's our default state. That's going to be our selected state. So on our selected state, the font's fine. I'm going to change the fill color to be white. And then I'm going to change the text color to be black. So we're going to go to font color and let's put that there. Okay, so we've got that. The default now, so when we're not clicked on a specific page or tab, I'm going to change that so that maybe these two tabs are going to be like a dark gray. The font color I think is fine to leave black, but let's go and change our background fill color. Let's make it a little darker than what we currently have. There we go. That looks good. Okay, so now we've got it so that this indicates that we're on a page or a tab. The gray ones, they're going to be a dark gray, and then when we're hovering over them, they're going to be a light gray. I think that looks pretty good. Again, since we're in desktop developer, you have to push control click to select these, and then we can test them out. There's nothing yet on these pages, but that works pretty good. I do want the same page navigator to appear in these subsequent pages. So we can just take this after we've got it all designed how we want it and do a little copy and paste. Let's Control C, and then let's go over to the vendor analytics page. We can Control V that guy in there, and we can do the same thing in our manufacturing analytics. Notice that when I'm on manufacturing analytics now, that page is highlighted. If I click over on vendor analytics, that one's going to be highlighted or selected with the default preferences set to overview and manufacturing analytics and the selected option set on the vendor analytics. That looks pretty good. There's some more customizations that we could definitely do, but it's a great start. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Thanks for watching.